This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, where we are actually on the air, and you are the real star of today's show, you being the pit crew. Happy Friday, everybody out there. I just want you to know, I don't even know how to start today's show. I don't know how to finish today's show. Things are going crazy over here, but we are here. We are on the air. Yesterday, due to rain, I guess. Rain, I didn't know rain could take your internet out here in Southern California, but apparently it can. We lost our internet. On top of that, rain leads to, and completely coincidental, flood. We had a flood here at the house, the studio, whatever you want to call it, last night. Made for a very crazy long evening that I'm still dealing with, and I'm just going to give you a little heads up or forewarning. There is a teeny tiny chance this show could be interrupted by workers showing up at the door. I think if that's the case, what I will do is probably end the show spontaneously and maybe restart it. I don't know. We'll play it by ear. We'll see where we are on the show, but happy Friday, everybody. Sometimes you have moments to reflect and think about the things that you're grateful for in life. I say these kind of things all the time. I just got to tell you guys, I'm really grateful for you guys. You guys are my friends. You are my family. You are my my co-racers. And I just appreciate you being here and appreciate you being part of the show. So I just want to let you guys know about that as well. So what is going on in sim racing today? I got a lot to talk about. We weren't on the air yesterday, so we missed a few things. So I'll kind of blow through some topics. I have a lot of topics on my thing, and I have a lot of Simpit stuff to let you guys know about as well. So just real quick, let's get things going. Of course, if there's anything you guys want to talk about, just be sure to jump in on the chat. Let me know. If you have a comment on anything on the show, I want to hear from you. I'll try to keep up with the chat while I do the show and make this as interactive as possible. And a few hellos out there. Franco Severiano Espinoza, thank you for being here. Oh, I gave your whole name to the whole world. Look at that. Anyway, I see some familiar faces, and I see some good friends here. Thank you all for being here once again. But Forza, couple things. They have their community, what do they call it? Bounty Hunter event, right? So Brian Meckberg, he's the guy who posts like all their community news and things. He said a 114, which is pretty doable. Did they give me my track? The track, I don't know if you guys noticed, but as each year I'll have to do this more and more. And soon I'll be doing the show like this, trying to read some of the stories. And anybody getting in their 30s might even know what I'm talking about already. Anyway, so the whole list of the Bounty Hunter events and the new times and all that, so see where you stand on that. In addition to that, they are doing a photo shot, so your shot contest. The shots, the winning photos, are going to be used on the live streams by Verona May, that cute drifter girl, and John Iwana. Don't know John very well. I know the name, but I've not watched the show. Contest ends December 3rd, so if you want to be Forza famous, just go ahead and do that. You can get more details there. Anyway, what else? Gran Turismo has a post in their news section today. Yeah, I guess the glasses are coming for that, like, certain things. I'm very upset about this. I've been holding out, and most of the people I know, to be honest with you, my friends have to hand me, like, things to be able to read them, but now I'm getting to the end of my rope, and I'm going to need some glasses for some small reading stuff. Still have great vision in normal. It's just the super close or text, it needs to be at the right spot. Anyway, sorry. Exhibition Series Season 4 starts on December 19th, so if you're looking for the new latest race in the GT competition, this is the Exhibition Series. It's going to be open to players. In the meantime, please continue to enjoy the daily races. So anyway, they're going to bring that back on December 19th, and that's going to be Season 4 of that. Glasses, no VR. I haven't needed glasses for VR. When I use VR, I don't know, one of my complaints about VR is clarity, but it seems to be the same amount of clarity issue that everybody seems to have with it. Also news, this came out yesterday, I know I was going to talk about it yesterday, but Grid Autosport is now going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch in 2019. Grid was always a fun game. I always enjoyed Grid. It was like Codemasters, I don't know what you consider the most hardcore thing out of Codemasters, but Grid was definitely one of the more arcadey racers, but it had a little bit of serious. It was grounded in reality to an extent. So Grid Autosport is coming to the Nintendo Switch, which there's been a decent run of games going to the Switch, and after having tried one for the first time when I was on the road, I would get a Nintendo Switch. Like, if I'm doing a trade show a month, let's just say, and I'm going to be out of town for a month. It was so portable. Got to the place, plugged it into the TV, and we were playing some Mario Kart of some sort. And, you know, it was a good time. Anyway, there are a lot more details there. So if you go to Cody's blog, they also have the whole write-up on Grid Autosport coming to Nintendo Switch in 2019. Blah, 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 blah. There's a little video. You can check that out. Yeah, Autosport was all right. First Grid was... Josh, you were right. The first Grid, when it came out, was really cool because it was a totally new direction. It was almost, I'm not going to say it was Wreckfest. There was an aspect of Grid that felt like Wreckfest, but it was just sort of like going back to old school gaming to an extent. And even though it came from Codemasters, and even though it drove like a sim to an extent, it really was about fun. And I appreciated Grid for exactly that. I think they... You know, I always, when I'm reviewing software, I'm always looking like, what are they really building this for? Who are they building it for? And how well did they build this sim or game for those people in particular? You know, and if you're the most hardcore simmer, I don't expect you to love Grid. And at the same time, maybe if you love Grid, I don't expect you to love iRacing or Assetto or Raceroom or whatever you want to say. I thought that they made a game for a certain target, and they hit a grand slam as far as execution goes on that topic. Welcome, Mitchie, Billy Strange, Darren Ganji of Sim Experience are here. All our good friends, Josh, Spatial, Tim, how you doing, Brandon? Everyone's here. Everyone's here on a Friday. I love it. It's so great. iRacing while I was dealing with hell yesterday. A couple little teaser videos. So what, December 4th, I think, is the new rollout. This is going to be a pretty big build from iRacing. There's a lot of stuff going on at iRacing. We saw the tease of the day-to-night transitions. Charlotte Roval's coming. Tsukuba's coming. The Formula Renault 3.5 are all coming to iRacing. So anyway, they have a video here showing off Charlotte Roval. Just as a reminder. And in addition to that, another video showing off the Formula Renault 3.5. And as much as, you know, anyway, we're going to wait for the build to get into that. But anyway, that's what's going on at iRacing at their Twitter page right now. Toka was a great game. Toka was really, it really was a masterpiece in its time. Great pickup. And Tim, Wreckfest is the best sim ever for what it is. Hey, GT Speedster, how you doing? Slam that cup down. See my cool Simpit mug. I know you guys know it, but anyway, I love my Simpit mug. Working on a Simpit store for some cool stuff, shirts and things like that. Don't order a shirt from the website right now, by the way. If you please don't. Or talk to me if you want a t-shirt. Don't order it from the site. Raceroom, the GT4 car. So you saw the whole fun celebrity race, whatever you want to call it. The GT4 cars are now available. It came out yesterday, I believe, in that latest build from Raceroom. In addition to that, now free content are Sepang International Circuit and the Formula Raceroom Junior car. So, more content. I like the way they're doing that. Adding new content that, of course, is going to cost you money. And then that's going to be followed by adding a few current content. So, what is the reaction to that community? I mean, in iRacing, it's like, ooh, it's a little offensive when they take a car that I paid and made it free. In Raceroom, you don't pay nearly as much money. Is it that big of a deal to Raceroom fanatics? Current Nintendo, yes. Table strength test. John, it's right there. Funny you say that. It is the garbage can that I use in my bathroom. So in yesterday's flood, the can got, like, thrown, a bunch of stuff got thrown in it, and it got flooded on the bottom. Not a big deal, but, I mean, I literally had to wash the Simpit barf can yesterday. iRacing and Raceroom are both great sims. I agree, Tim. All right, what else? So, we've talked Wreckfest. We talked Wreckfest. So, the Crew 2. Unsure what's coming in our Demolition Derby update on December 5th. December 4th, December 5th, we got a lot going on this next week. Not to worry, we've got you covered. Today is the last day of November, just for the record. So tomorrow is December when we start talking about all these December things. Anyway, oh, I already had clicked on this, so we can skip it and go to this one. Demolition Derby crashes into the crew on December 5th. This is going to be free DLC. This is the second free update brought to you by Ubisoft. And anyway, they have a teaser video here. I'll play a moment of that, but I'm not going to play enough to get in trouble in this case. But anyway, the Demolition Derby mode has arrived, or will be arriving next week. Video there at the Crew 2 main page and at their Twitter page. That's cool. Graphics of the interior of the car, or the interior pieces of the car. I like that. Anyway, and then they show off a picture there of the type of track and a good image showing some of the damage and crashing that's going to be going on. I like that. And then they show some of the cars that are coming. This is kind of cool. The Fender Firenze, the Fender Vero, the Fender Frontiera. Is that like a Bel Air? Fender Bulk. The Fender Rattlesnake. Oh, that's Joa's. That's an El Camino right there. And then this is going to be a doozy. Is this supposed to be like the Harvester or the school bus? You can run the extra aerobatics 330 SC 2009. That's not for the Demolition Derby. It's just also part of the update, adding to the game. But wouldn't that be funny if that was, if you drove around in that like you did in the Harvester in Wreckfest? That would be kind of funny. Who knows? Maybe that is what they're thinking. Mitchie bought a Nintendo Switch yesterday. Too funny. Too funny. A Tim Wagon. Yes, exactly. The C10 pickup on the Crew, Brandon. Yes, yes, the C10. Boom. Boom. Is that what you're talking about? So what is that? That looks like a Monte Carlo, like Dale Earnhardt Sr. era Monte Carlo. Am I wrong? What do you guys think? Station wagon, I'm not sure the actual make. A Bel Air. A Chevy truck. El Camino. Definitely a leaning towards Chevrolet, by the way. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Those are all Chevrolet marquees, I'm guessing. Yeah, I don't think the extra is going to do all that well. It definitely won't. All right. What else? Rick Hyde. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. It was a really cool event. It was a lot of fun. So this is sort of funny. 3 weeks ago when I was at IAPA, we were actually talking with the head of state of Project Cars, and they had told us the name, and I've been sworn to secrecy, and now it's public, so we can actually talk about it. But the next generation of Project Cars is in the makes, and at the 911, at the Porsche's booth, they are actually demonstrating the Porsche 911. This is actually not a 911, it's the next gen, the 992 Gen 911. And this, apparently they're showing off Project Cars Pro. Pro. Not P-Cars 3. Project Cars Pro. And I wonder if they mean that. I wonder if that is just a naming. Are they just calling it naming Pro because it sounds cool? Or are they calling it Pro because they're going to step it up in seriousness another level? I mean, that's something that we need to get to the bottom of. But apparently they're using the Star VR. I might be going to the LA Auto Show. I'm not sure. Now maybe I have a reason. So there you go. The more you know. Project Cars Pro, something we can look forward to in the future. B-Sim Racing also talking about it. So again, this is being debuted to an extent at LA Auto Show, and I'm not sure what you can actually do in the sim. I didn't get that far along, but I thought it was just very cool to know. I mean, it's always good. I mean, Project Cars to Project Cars 2 was a very significant leap. I mean, to me, to an extent, Project Cars 1 was almost barely a leap from back when they were EA and they were doing Need for Speed titles. Project Cars 2 was like, okay, look, now they're actually trying. Now they're actually trying to make a game that appeals to me. Excuse me. I heard that too, Brandon. Star VR is going to get sold off. Yeah, I heard that. Anyway, also a lot of people are talking about Euro Truck Simulator Beyond the Baltic Sea DLC. Heard great things about this. So you truck people, Euro Truck people, from what I've heard so far, this is like a must-have if you're into that sim. But what, total? 24 new cities, 13,000 kilometers or 8,000 miles of roads and highways to venture down in the Beyond the Baltic Sea expansion pack, which just came out and apparently, again, is very, very cool. All right, what else we have to talk about today? I have a friend working on them. Steve, let me know. Yes, please do. Anybody, especially who can get me information on Project Cars. My contact, I'm friends with Rod Chong, who's like the head of Project Cars 2, but he's moved on to work with Robo Race, I believe it's called. And so anyway, I could use a new media contact there for sure. And I did that personally because he was working out of Los Angeles, so it's like I'd see him all the time. Rick Motec, again, just a reminder, they're at booth 3327 in that Tri-Tech Motorsport Simulator Challenge where you can actually win yourself an iWatch 4. Geez, so many this, that. Anyway, that's going on there at PRI. So if you're in the Indy area and you go to PRI, definitely go by booth 3327. I believe Frank will be there. You can go meet Frank. Frank is one of the coolest guys you're going to ever meet in sim racing if you get a chance to meet him in person. He's a genuine guy. He loves sim racing. He loves sim racing products. And anyway, yeah, if you go to PRI, definitely go hunt them down. And even better, think about it. PRI is filled with a bunch of people who, a lot of them, a lot of real-life racers still kind of mock sim racing. So if you go to PRI as a real sim racer, chances are you're going to walk out of there with an iWatch. That's my guess. So go do it. Go do it if you're in the area, if you're in Indy. McLaren Shadow showing off the semifinalists arriving at McLaren headquarters for the first time. So more sim racers getting the Grand Tour and the VIP treatment at McLaren. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being flown to McLaren and given a private tour of their facility? Oh, Ben, we're going to talk later, buddy. Sorry about that. But the finalists are there, and we are now, this is posted 22 hours ago, so it's almost 1 day to go. Tomorrow is the big day for the 8 gamers battling it out at McLaren headquarters for a place in their grand finals. I always want to call it a finale. I don't know why I'm so hung up on that. Are you ready? Find out everything you need to know below. And then there's a link to a page giving you all the details of everything going on. McLaren Shadow semifinal explained, and telling you all the details, who the finalists are, what they're going to be doing, and how it's all going to play out, and where and how and when you can watch. So you'll find that easiest way is just go to McLaren Shadow on Twitter, and they have a link right there under the video link there. Oh, there it is. 1 day to go, so you can get more info there. That's something I'm so busy. I'd like to watch that. I have to remember to put it on the background or something. Maybe somebody, one of the patron pit crew guys, will give me a kick in the butt and tell me, hey, it's time to watch that now. So anyway, what else? Remember ROC? Remember Race of Champions last year? What? Enzo Benito, Rudy Van Buren, and who else? Oh, I just got an apology for a phone call during a live show. No problem, Ben. That means you might be watching even. Hey, Ben, how you doing? Dallas did beat the Saints. That was huge. Sorry to talk football, but I watched that last night. Esport Racers returned to ROC in 2019. Public entry also open. So last year, wasn't the whole thing, that was like a pick. Didn't they do a challenge between, I'm trying to remember. If I'm not mistaken, it was a invite-only competition that gave one spot, and then Rudy got the second spot. Isn't that how that went last year? I'm going by memory. But anyway, apparently, so in the article, and this is at Autosport, which means it's also at Motorsport. I just didn't have the duplicate article there. So again, we know they are the same. Esport Racers returned to ROC, Race of Champions in 2019. So if you are a Mitchie, are you listening? Anyway, there is a path to that competition for some lucky sim racer champion alien extraordinaire. Anyway, what else? Oh, MXer, you are so right. I'm so behind on so many things, and at the very end, hey Benjamin, no problem. It's truly an interactive show, or it's becoming more interactive every day. So Brendan Lay at ROC also. That'd be awesome. Who knows? I'm long overdue for the ATS ETS convoy. I'm going to get to that at the end of the show. There's going to be a little scheduling change and things, and I apologize for being so far behind, but I'm working on it, and you guys are always helping me. I'll tell you what we're up to later at the end of this. Driving Italian Net has a write-up talking about Ride 3, available November 30th by Milestone. I read another article, or saw another headline that didn't sound all that great. It sounded like, oh, it could be good, but kind of thing. SimRace Hardware News Test Blog has a write-up, and this just made me think. This is kind of like an 80-20 slot and groove channel, whatever you want to call tubing, the grown-up erector set, I like to call it, that I and so many sim racers love and use. Anyway, a carbon cockpit coming at Drive Games Seat. So these are carbon fiber tubing version of the same thing, which, to be honest with you, if you do this, buyer beware, be careful when you're tightening things down with carbon. It's not the same as doing aluminum, but wow, how expensive is that going to be? Carbon fiber has gotten cheaper over the years, but it's still expensive. But it would make for a very light rig, which would be cool, because by the time you build a profile rig of this kind of dimensions, man, that thing's going to end up being like a, you know, if you have monitors on it and a wheel and pedals and a seat without you, you're probably already at like, what, 150 pounds maybe? I mean, my R seat loaded is 150 pounds, I think. Anyway, there you go. Carbon fiber. Can you imagine? Carbon fiber rig. Who would have thought? This is an article, motorsport.com, talking about here's your chance to drive a state-of-the-art racing simulator. And they're showing off what this is one of the Formula One team's actual simulators. Oh, stop that. But anyway, this goes on to talk about your opportunity. All you have to do is watch this video of an F1 driving in a McLaren last week, which I posted on the site Saturday. Anyway, so the point is, I'm telling you how to go win your chance to get in a real Formula One simulator through motorsport.com. So at Motorsport, title of the article is, here's your chance to drive a state-of-the-art racing simulator, like I said. And then again, the whole point is, all you have to do is watch this video. There's a link to that video. And what was the other detail? Oh, shoot. Here's the F1 fan drives Lewis Hamilton's McLaren.mov. And then, hold on, what was the final detail? You can read the article here because I've made a mess of it. Here. And note down the race number of the single-seater racing car I'm about to climb into. Your answers will not show publicly. So in the comments section below this post, note down the race number of the single-seater racing car I'm about to climb into. Your answers will not show publicly. The competition ends Friday, October 28th. Wait, what? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, when was this posted? October 24th, 2011? What? I'm so sorry about that. How did this end up in my radar? Wow, I'm embarrassed. I'm truly embarrassed. Sorry about that. And that is going to come full circle to something I'm talking about in the end. Road to VR. Pimax announces general sale of 8K and 5K headsets with 80-day waiting period. Anyway, news the VR people have been considering going to that next level. But anyway, you're looking at 81-day wait. So either they sold out or they're having trouble keeping up with production. That's pretty long lead time. That's almost 3 months lead time to get your Pimax 5K or 8K headset. A couple other things to show you today on Reddit. Just a cool shot here of someone's really over-the-top desktop rig. And I mean over-the-top, man, he is crammed in there. But when you have $750 for a wheel but no money left over, this is what you end up with. So he's got himself a $750, I don't know how he got it for $750, Sim Experience wheel. And there he's got himself some old Logitech pedals, Logitech shifter, a single monitor, and all this crammed into just the smallest of areas. But anyway, it just shows you how obsessed we can be. I mean, wow. That is really making sure you got what you need, or at least what makes you happy. And anyway, here, just we were talking carbon fiber rigs, so the polar opposite of that, of course, is any variation of a Deathmobile. I mean, a Deathmobile, really, what's a Deathmobile? It just means you built it out of wood. I mean, to me, that's what a Deathmobile really means, because really, we're going to all put our own twists and designs, use whatever wooden screws and nuts and bolts we have available, and that is what truly makes a Deathmobile. So this one here, polar opposite to a carbon fiber rig, is a really nice, genuine Deathmobile. Didn't even take the time to paint. Who needs paint? Paint is for photos. When it comes to hardcore use at home, raw wood will get it done too. So what else do we have? VVV actually had a topic. I'd seen this in a few places, but this one showed it off best. This is the incredible 8K, 120 frames per second Gran Turismo Sport video showcased in Japan. So anyway, they played this just phenomenal, amazing, super realistic version of Gran Turismo Sport at, I mean, when we talk about what is the future of, wow, look at that. That was actually cool. I'm glad they did that pan just to give you an idea. But basically the point here is, you know, this is the future. When we talk about the future of Sims, what are they going to do? We all want and love great graphics, and the day they can deliver us 8K at 120 frames per second, if they're doing that on a Gran Turismo PlayStation level, just imagine what we'll be doing on the PC at that point. We'll be running VR at 8K, 144 frames per second locked. Anyway, very cool for the future of VR, or for the future of sim racing graphics, everything that is sim racing. And moving on to Simpit things. All right, we're getting towards the end of the show, which, no surprise, we're 27 minutes into this. Luckily, I haven't been interrupted yet by the workers. Credit where credit is due. We're patting people on the back, our good friends. But Billy Strange does some random racing on Wednesday nights for his Discord channel, Billy Strange Racing. And I missed this week's race because I can't remember what Wednesday's excuse was. But, oh, I know. I was at the market and I was running late and didn't make the start of the race. But Richie Hearn of IndyCar fame, won the Phoenix Dallara IR18 IndyCar. Really no surprise. Everyone kind of picked him for the big win. Other Simpit racing going on that I don't get to talk about nearly enough, but there is a Raceroom series running on sim racing systems. So right now the Porsche series is running the final race of the season, I do believe. No, I'm sorry. They are currently at Monza. And just taking a look at the leaderboard, Marvin Wabnitz is leading the points with 306 points over Andre Given and Colin Prushoff. You can see how international the Raceroom series, heavily dominated by, what, Spain? Is that a lot of Spain and Germany in there for the most part? But it is the international crowd running in that series. In addition to that, Sean Seabrand of ProSim TNT, he is carrying on the Assetto Corsa series for the Simpit, which runs on Thursday and Fridays, and they are right now at the last race of the season at Road America. I believe they ran last night, and they'll be running again tonight, with Will Dawson leading the points, 606 points, a huge lead over Brian Carter in second, and our very own Sean Seabrand sitting in third. Rick Longano running in fourth. I see a lot of Andreas Castanedas in sixth. So anyway, get out there, do some racing on sim racing systems with either Assetto Corsa or Raceroom. Tonight we have the final race in the truck series, and it's been a long season to an extent. I mean, we did 12 races, and it is coming down to the wire. Brett Favre Makowski is leading the points with 383 over Billy Strange. Billy, you got some work to do tonight. Tonight we'll be running at New Hampshire. That's at 6 o'clock. I will be there for sure. I'm short on time. Not going to miss tonight's race, though. So we will definitely have that streaming on the Simpit Crew channel. Joa Antonio sitting in third. Michael Thompson in fourth. Andrew Fayash in fifth place. So that should be fun tonight. In addition to that, on Sunday, we will have the Simpit Global MX5 Championship on iRacing. David Clymer leaving in the points still, 290 points over George Sandman. Unbelievable. Who would think that David Clymer would be leading in the points when George Sandman has dominated everything this season? Nico Roman in third with 260. I find myself all the way back in sixth place with 222 points, so I got to get some work done. And we will be at Okayama Sunday at noon. What else? That's not for you guys. This is. So, man, I'm tomorrow. Tomorrow, the VEC race number 3, 6 hours of Interlagos, full race. ACR Zach Speed is going to be running in that. Mitchie Hoyer will be streaming that race, and that's something that you can tune in for and root for those guys. Great guys, and we'll be pulling for them to have a good showing. So that pretty much takes us to the end of the news. What I did want to finish with is just a little focused thought and vision for the future and some scheduling changes. So I am really behind on reviews, and reviews are the main thing that keeps the Simpit growing and what we're really known for. The pit stops, we are kind of getting into a slower period of time, and you know what else? I'm really tired of having stories like that one from 2011 because I didn't take the time to really know. I would rather have more discussion. So what I'm going to do for the future, and this is coming in an effective immediately as of next week, we are no longer going to do a pit stop on Tuesday and Thursday. So it'll be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, I want to keep slowing things down, and I want to keep interacting with you guys, and I want to keep talking more detail about fewer topics and making it better and more hardcore about what we really do. It's a talk show. This is not news. Originally, when I was going to do the pit stop, it was going to be 10 minutes of blah, blah, blah news. And you know what? That instantly became boring and monotone and not my style. Interacting with you, talking in detail about topics, even the news, but it means maybe slowing it down, only doing it a few days of the week. In addition to that, now the reason I air quoted Friday is Monday and Wednesday will be a Simpit, like a pit stop just like you know. And then that means that I get to recover Tuesday and Thursday. Excuse me, I have hair floating in the air. In order to get ahead on reviews and get caught up. Get to ATS Convoy. Why are we not doing that? Because I'm so far behind. Got to catch up, and I want to make it bigger and better. That's the whole goal here. And then here's the big deal, though. Friday, it's going to be a Simpit pit stop, but we are going to change the name. And here's the best thing of all. Do you guys remember Sim Tunnel? Remember when it was really about getting into detail and topics? Well, I'm joining forces with Billy Strange Racing on a special project that's going to be on Fridays. Now, this is still a few weeks out, just in all fairness. So until then, it'll be Monday, Wednesday, Friday pit stop, and maybe in 3 weeks or so, Friday pit stops are going to become special edition. But it'll be me and Billy Strange both bringing you the most important news topics of the few days between a pit stop and then moving on to other topics, and then having even more detailed topics. So just for an example, and maybe even bringing in special guests, taking calls from you guys. We're going to take audio calls from the Patreon or Discord groups. We're going to interact with you guys and have somebody monitoring the chat, bringing relevant comments and questions into the conversation. It's going to be super interactive. It's going to be super cool. It's something that I have dreamt about, honestly, for 10 years. This is what I've really been striving for. This truly is getting into sim racing. This is really diving into discussions and really digging deep. For example, today in our Patreon Discord chat, we are talking in great detail about the failures of simulation when compared to real life. And as much as I love my sims, there are huge limitations and there are huge things where the sim companies are desperately missing the boat. And we had a really great conversation between me, Billy, and about 5 or 6 other guys in the group. And that should have been done live for all of us. We should have all 92. I see 92 people on one chat here. All of us should have been in on that conversation, given our thoughts and opinions. And you know what? Can you imagine how cool it would be if they started listening? If they started listening, maybe it'll have an impact. Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. This is coming for the future. But as of next week, I'm going to stop doing pit stops on Tuesdays and Thursdays in order to make Monday and Wednesday and Fridays just that much better. Because Monday and Wednesday will be deeper and better. None of the crap, none of the extra, and I'll know what I'm talking about. No more stories from 2011. So anyway, Tom Jones, I saw that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope you guys like the idea. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. And I want to thank Billy Strange for being willing to do this with me. I want to thank Brandon Waters for really pushing it and making it happen, and you're going to hear more about what he's doing with it as well. So this is all very exciting to me. Perfect way to finish a Friday show. I hope you guys get out there and do some racing. Join us tonight at the trucks. Join us on Sunday. The door is knocking. Timing couldn't be better. Have a great weekend. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being part of the pit crew. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.